Hey guys, Cool Brick here with another construction themed custom MOC. This is a single drum roller, and in case you guys aren't familiar with what a roller is or does, hopefully you are, but if you're not, it's basically just a machine with at least one gigantic steel drum, I think it's steel anyway, for flattening hot pavement or hot asphalt when it's just been laid so that it doesn't have, well, so that it's not really rough when they're first paving a road. So they basically just use these as huge smoothing machines. So this is my not that great depiction of one. So I guess we can take a look at the little details of it. So obviously I did incorporate the giant steel drum right here, and it works sort of well. You can see this is a low friction surface, so you can see I just used some half cylinders here, one half cylinder on one side, one half on the other side, and this is just normal Lego plastic, not rubber like these wheels, so you can't really expect it to have to be able to turn on this low friction surface. But on a rug it fares a little bit better, but even then it's not very loose. Whoops. Like these wheels back here, it's still a little bit tight in there, and you can already see you do have articulation back here. Rollers, I think they actually usually have, it's a slightly different setup. The cab is a little bit farther back, and the part with the articulation, I think, is actually this whole drum area goes to like there, and the whole cab and engine is back here, and the cab's on the articulation. But I decided to do things a little bit differently just because it would be easier to build it that way. So the articulation is in the back, and I do have it on a ball joint, so that's why you've got this bit of camber over here. Unfortunately, I mean, there are other ways of doing this. I can toy around with different methods of attaching these down here, but for now that seemed to be the easiest option, and I actually used a ball joint with friction in it, or a little bit of friction, so it's not completely loose, it's not jiggling around all over the place here. And then for the cab, this is kind of an older style of roller, so you've got the open cab, just a very simple roof on it, and there's the guy in there. I can actually tilt this back for you guys so that you can see in there, and you've just got one guy at the controls, and you've got a steering wheel, and there's a little, I guess you could call it a pressure gauge. I don't even know if you guys can see the what the decal on that piece is, and then you've got a lever which he's holding in his hand. I guess that can control whether this thing's going in forwards or reverse, and realistically this doesn't really have much of a turning radius, as they don't in real life either. That's about as far as it can turn, so if you pretend we have friction here and we can't just do that, you know, that's basically as much as it can turn. They just can't turn very tight, most of them. And as you can see, the front section is quite a bit wider than the rear. Now I kind of wish I'd made the back a little bit wider, but I think that if I had made this 6 wide instead of 4 wide, I think it would have just been a little bit too much. So overall, I'm happy with it. And if you didn't hear me say it before, back here is pretty much the engine compartment, and this whole thing back here is the engine, and these are the drive wheels. I got some nice black grills on here, and I tried to follow through with one solid shape. I like the way that looks. Not too happy with the very boxiness of this, or these random holes in there. So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate, but for the rest of the back I'm pretty happy with it. I like this little exhaust stack on there. You know, I see yellow, and you know, yellow just makes me think of construction. So I really like just making all of these construction things yellow, 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 lots of yellow everywhere. And I guess the only other thing I have to complain about this is these open studs and holes on this Technic plate here. I had that covered up with tile earlier, but it just made it way too fat looking. so I removed it and left it like this, and I think it's an okay compromise. So yeah, that pretty much takes care of this little MOC. Oh, almost forgot, you just have a couple steps over here for getting into the cab. And yeah, that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this MOC, and you guys can tell me what you think about it in the comments section down below. And as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.